Mic check. Ooh. Ooh. Everybody relax. Everybody relax. I'm a little bit late. I'm 18 minutes late. Chris, what up? Cynical, what up? Dion, what up? Zone Wayne. He said, I'm not an hour late. I'm not an hour late. Django, what's up? Jack, what up? Lil Rock, AZ Tech, Toya, what's up? Carmen, what's up? Shadows of Tomorrow, what's up? Thundercracker, Reed, the gang in here. Candace in here. We gotta talk about this, man. Yeah. Jack said, let me go ahead and twist one up. This nigga Todd said, hey man, listen. This one of them ones. This one of them ones, man. This one of them ones, man. Red and Black, what's up? Listen, Most, what up? Okay. All right. Okay. Let me go on record. Let me go on record and say that I hope this is what I think it is. All right. I hope this is what I think it is. And again, y'all know me. I've been calling for the double, triple cross on Israel for like a month and a half already. Because we got to wash our hands. We got to wash our hands of them people. Indigenous, what's up, man? Dream Reader, he said this whole thing fishy. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So, where do we begin? Red and Black says it's never gonna happen. I think it happened already. I think it happened already. All right. Now look. Let me go ahead and lay out my premise. A lot of people are saying similar things, but I know better. Everybody said, nah, listen, man. On record, I want to be on record because the way this played out, it do look like Trump pulled a fast one. All right. We're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna open the panel. But I gotta lay out my premise first. All right. I do think Trump double-crossed the Israelis. I do think he did double, triple-cross these motherfuckers out the way. All right. If anything, removes responsibility from himself and us for being a part of this shit. Now, where do I begin? Because I think this is a brilliant play. I think that this is awesome. And I don't want to be the person that's just totally against Trump. Trump can't do nothing right. I got to give him credit on this. If this is what happened, all right? So hit the like button. All right. Hit the like button so I can walk down my premise on the double, triple cross. That is just, it's almost obvious. It's almost obvious. This is what we was talking about in the voice chat and Discord. If you have not joined the Discord, you know what I'm saying? If you have not joined the Discord, do yourself a favor, all right, and free yourself of mainstream media. Free yourself of social media narratives. Free yourself from the left-right paradigm of doom. Yes, double cross the like button. Yes, double cross the like button. All right, so Donald Trump is in the process of doing a deal with Iran. Okay. While he's in the process of doing the deal with Iran, it is public knowledge that Pete Hegseth, Tulsi Gabbard, and the gang said there was no plans on any type of attack on Iran. This is public news. This is stated on the record. Everybody know what time it is. Next thing you know, after they say they don't want to attack Iran, we have Signal Gate Part 2, where they have fucking an Israeli spy who is using some Israel version of the messenger system. He gets exposed, booted out the White House, or relocated to a different division or whatever. But it seemed like somebody, it seemed like the small hats had it in for people who was disagreeing with attacking Iran. All right. Now, all of this is going on, and Trump is still negotiating with Iran. And the process of negotiating with Iran, Israel, all right, took it upon themselves to attack Iran on their own. On their own. On their own. Israel stepped in shit, and it only took the next day for Israel to start asking for help. And Israel start to gaslight America, and Benjamin Netanyahu said, hey, y'all have to get involved, blah, 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 blah. Like I said, watch the last live stream where we pretty much show you how much intervention was needed to stop Iran from fucking pulverizing Israel. All right. So again, Israel attacks Iran while Trump is negotiating with Iran. Now Trump has to come out and save face, make it seem like it's some type of warning. We told you so. You didn't want to do the deal, blah, blah. But the deal was, we don't have a problem, okay, with you guys regulating and inspecting our nuclear program, but we also want the same treatment for Israel's nuclear program, which is not even really officially on record. And that's just the truth. Trump could never come out and say Israel has a nuclear program, because they're not supposed to have one either. All right. Now, so this happens, puts Trump in a fucked up position. I don't think Trump ever stopped communicating with Iran. All right. I don't think Trump ever stopped communicating with Iran. I believe, okay, this is Tie City theory. That's what we'll call it, Tie City theory. I believe Trump and the gang said, hey, look, listen, this is what we're going to do. Move the uranium out of these places. We're going to give you some time. We're going to get, so we're going to go through there. We're going to make it look like, and that's what happened. All right. 3 empty facilities, no nuclear fallout, no radiation in the air, none of that shit. And Trump came out and he said it was this great military exercise, blah, 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 blah. Next thing you know, Iran, they get to save face and they get to strike on some of our military bases. Totally missed this whole ordeal. Nobody died. All right. Nobody died. Is the Iranians get to keep up their national pride because they fought back against the big bad West. Trump get to, say he did this awesome exercise of force, the greatest in the world, the greatest that there ever was, blah, blah. And now we have a ceasefire. All right. Now we have a ceasefire. And the ceasefire comes through Qatar. Okay. For those who don't know, in the last live stream, we showed the guy from Qatar talking about how the politicians in America couldn't even find Qatar on the map. But that's a whole nother thing, right? So they're allied with America, of course. Qatar also gifted Trump this big jet, that bunch of drama behind that shit. Also, the water is from the UAE. They all depend on nuclear from Iran. The UAE got $1.4 trillion of American infrastructure. So it wouldn't really make sense for Trump to just go in there and just tear up all of Iran's nuclear programs and stuff. And again, he even said that during the address where he said, we left a lot of other targets untouched. So my thing, and again, while all this is happening, the Israelis is cheerleading. Thank you, Donald Trump. I seen a whole lot of that stuff going on. They were celebrating. Benjamin Netanyahu came out, said, thank you, Donald Trump, for, using this force. And, Donald Trump came out and pretty much said, we have obliterated all of Iran's nuclear capabilities. But the problem is, where is the uranium? Where's the uranium? And so this play has already been played already because I did some research. All right. Now, everybody hit the like button as we proceed. All right. As we proceed, let's get into it. Super chat is available as well as Cash App scrolling across the bottom of the screen. All right. And get over here. Let's get on. Here we go. Now this is last year. Let's go here. Here we go. Zoop. Here we go. Everybody relax. Let's get to the bottom of this. Let's get to the bottom of it, huh? Let's get to the bottom of this. All right. So here we go. Everybody hit the like button. This was last year. This Donald Trump talking about Iran, talking about when they took out Soleimani. All right.
Before you go too far, would have never happened with me. I had Iran in check. We hit them very hard for something that they did, and they had to hit back. They feel they have to do that, and I understand that.
So again, this is theatrics, okay? This is where he said, we hit them pretty hard. They had to hit us back. They have to because they have national pride, all right? They have to show strength to the public,
They called me to tell me we're going to hit a certain location, but we're not going to hit it. It's going to be outside of the perimeters.
Who called you?
Iran called me. Iran called me, called for me. And they let us know, and we had 16 missiles went off. I believe it was 16. 6 or 7 failed in the air.
When was this?
This was prior to the attack on a fort that.
Now, again, this is Donald Trump explaining how Iran, it's probably an echo, but it's coming through the video. This is Trump explaining how Iran called him and warned him and told him, hey, we're going to have to, nothing personal, but we just can't make it seem, we can't make it look like y'all just fucking punked us and shit. This, you'll give you a street translation of this shit, And this is what I think happened this go around, because Israel jumped the fucking gun. So they was just like, all right, well, let's just put a show on for Israel. Now we can back out. And if Israel do anything, Israel broke the peace treaty or whatever, and Israel got to clean this shit up on their own. This is what I hope happened. Yeah, political theater. Exactly. This is political theater. All right.
Who called you?
Iran called me. Iran called me, called for me. And they let us know, and we had 16 missiles went off. I believe it was 16. 6 or 7 failed in the air.
When was this?
This was prior to the attack on a fort that we had where they hit back. Do you remember when they sent 18 missiles or 16 missiles? 5 failed. They let us know, don't move. We're going to have to hit you back. Psychologically, we have to do that because we hit them on something. You remember, they sent 16 or 18 missiles, and we knew they weren't going to hit inside the fort. And the media was going, and now I reveal it. The media was going wild because they say it's strange. They're very accurate missiles. How come they all missed? Nobody was killed, if you remember.
Yes,
with all of those missiles, nobody was killed.
Just like this go around. Nobody was killed. Just like this go around. I gotta give some racing flags to a couple of the guys, man. It do be kind of annoying when guys be like, this is all for show. These are all actors. You know what I'm saying? I admit it. It do be annoying when the guys be in the chat box like, this is all for show. This is all fake. Everything is fake. Y'all got one on this one. Hey, you don't get no argument from me. Look at Hulk. Hey, y'all, you don't get no argument from your boy, dog. Like this go around, this is purely political theater, a whole fake war. Even somebody said in the chat box last time was like, did the strikes even happen, or is that just what they said? Listen, I give props. I say when I'm wrong. I'm one of them. I'm one of the last real YouTubers out here, nigga. All right. Yeah, fake beef. Hey, I'm just listen. Hey, y'all got one on this one. Again, I'm gonna run this back. All right, I'm gonna run this back. This is Donald Trump, talking about how they had to clean up. Iran had to clean up the image from Soleimani getting whacked.
Before you go too far, would have never happened with me. I had Iran in check. We hit them very hard for something that they did, and they had to hit back. They feel they have to do that, and I understand that. Do you know they called me to tell me we're going to hit a certain location, but we're not going to hit it. It's going to be outside of the perimeters.
Who called you?
Iran called me. Iran called me, called for me. And they let us know, and we had 16 missiles went off. I believe it was 16. 6 or 7 failed in the air.
When was this?
This was prior to the attack on a fort that we had where they hit back. Do you remember when they sent 18 missiles or 16 missiles? 5 failed. They let us know, don't move. We're going to have to hit you back. Psychologically, we have to do that because we hit them on something. You remember, they sent 16 or 18 missiles, and we knew they weren't going to hit inside the fort. And the media was going, and now I reveal it. The media was going wild because they say it's strange. They're very accurate missiles. How come they all missed? Nobody was killed, if you remember.
Yes,
with all of those missiles, nobody was killed. Now, they had to do it because they have people and they have to show strength. So they aimed the missiles, but they said, please don't attack us. We're not going to hit you. That was respect. We had respect.
Damn. Hey, listen, man. Hey, yeah, they play tag you with, you know. Now here's I don't think Israel is okay with all this peace deal shit. I don't think Israel is okay with uranium being enriched to like 60% capacity to go make nuclear being missing in action, and because it's a lot of stuff going on right now, man. Yeah, Uncle Trump Entertainment. Yo, listen, that's racing flags for everybody who was like, man, this shit is all a big movie set. I gotta, Easy said, Trump said, respect the pimping. Yeah, but again, it's, you got to strike back. You got to tell the people like we got smoke. We gonna do something back. You have to. Yeah. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button as we proceed. So yeah, again, we got a whole new scenario where we have two different strike campaigns going, and nobody died. In fact, they were saying that the main facility that's in the mountains is just got subpar damage that's easily repairable, and the other facilities are completely obliterated. Now, Trump has said that Iran doesn't have any nuclear capabilities because all of the nuclear sites have been totally destroyed. Now, yeah, politics within politics. This is what I was trying to tell y'all the other day with the propaganda and how slick the propaganda is finna go even crazier, because now you got AI imagery in the mix. Now you got all this other stuff in the mix. People not going to know what's real and what's fake. And, you're going to have these big presidential conferences where Trump going to come out and just say, yeah, we blew up everything. And then next thing you know, it's a bunch of fake pictures floating around as evidence. And it's about to get silly outside, man. It's about to get silly outside, man. And if you're a sheep, unfortunately, you're going to be lost in the sauce. And again, this is why I say that's a whole nother live stream, but the human element, we got to hold on to the human element for dear life. All right. We can't do this. We're going to merge with fake with real, and what I'm saying? We can't do all that shit. The human element. Who took the picture? We got to say what human was involved with this shit. We have to do that shit. Or else you're just going to be accepting, like, if you don't ask who was involved with this shit, who took this picture, who took this video, who edited it, like, if it's not a person involved, you definitely got to say, I'm not fucking with it. And even if it is a person that's involved with it, now you can use human connection and human discernment, human interaction to decide, where is the fucking motive? You know what I'm saying? Who is this person? You see what I'm saying? Like, that's a whole nother live stream. Yeah, it's a rabbit hole. You're right, JC. It's a rabbit hole. But when you can't ask who, you out. We get to the point where you can't ask who, you out. You're done. Finished. Finito. Out of there. All right. You better be able to put a who on fucking everything. All right. As we proceed, let me go over here real quick. Let me do this. Everybody hit the like button. Yes, you better get used to seeking the human element and everything, dog. finding the human element and everything, man. All right. Let me get over here real quick. Let me knock this out. These people must be stopped. All right. Somebody just asked who's running the country. Here you go. Here you go. Somebody just asked who's running the country. Here you go. There you go. Let me see. There we go. You want to know who running the country? This who running the country right here.
We just thank you right now, Lord, from the east.
Hold on, wait a minute. This video got an echo too. Give me 1 second, y'all. What the fuck? What is this gonna? Let me see if this is gonna work better.
West, the north, and the south. You will shake America with your power and your glory. We cancel every assignment. We just thank you right now, Lord, from the east, the west, the north, and the south. You will shake America with your power and your glory. We cancel every assignment of the enemy. This nation was birthed to be one nation under God, and we are standing on the soil of the White House, and we are declaring your word. Every place that our foot will trod, you will give it to us, and we are taking the land. We thank you, O Lord. You have brought us to the kingdom for a time such as this, and this is the time. And so we declare right now, from the capital of our nation, that America will come back to God. We will come back to God. Nothing will stop this nation. And we speak right now by the authority of heaven. You told us to bring heaven to earth. Heaven is being released through your people right now.
So there you go. That's who. Somebody want to know who running the country. I mean, there you go. Somebody said, yeah, that's who. That's who running the country, man. That's who running the country. Actually, you know, and you know, while I'm at it, let me do this because here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We got friend of the show, Charlie Kirk. Right. Friend of the show, Charlie Kirk, has jumped the gun, so to speak, because we had a usual suspect, all right, run into a church, you know, and you know, pull the gun out, start acting a damn fool, you know, and Charlie Kirk and, you know, the FWA crowd, they start saying it's already started. We have sleeper cells, Iranian sleeper cells. They was going crazy before they even found out what this was about. And yeah, it ended up being a crazy white man. I mean, that's just ended up being a crazy white man. It's just, and they was just, you know, saying it was the usual suspect, you know. You know, so this person, you're an absolute clown. Once again, you jumped on tragedy to spread lies and fan the flames of Islamophobia, hoping the attacker was Muslim so you could scream sleeper cell and form more cliques for your cult of brain-dead followers. But facts ruin your fantasy. The shooter was a 31-year-old white male, not Iranian, not Muslim, just another homegrown threat you conveniently ignore because it doesn't fit your cheap fear-mongering narrative. All right. And I mean, this is why there's only black fatigue, because again, you know what I'm saying, when they get to spreading the bullshit, you know, again, this Charlie Kirk who said that if the plane is crashing, I hope the pilot is a white man. I'm gonna have to pull that clip up later, man. If the plane is crashing, I sure hope it's a white man. Fucking idiot. Yes, hit the like button. Oh my goodness. What the fuck? Anyways, moving right along. So, of course, the original tweet is surprise, not available. Not available. Not available. All right. Surprise, it's gone. Surprise, not available. All right. Surprise, the fucking goofy, racist, trash tweet is just not available anymore. You know, it what it is, man. He said that's got to be on the soundboard. Yeah, I got the soundboard. I just, man, y'all know me, man. I like just talking my shit, man. I don't like pressing buttons and all the rest of that shit. You know, I have illegal immigrant fatigue. Get the fuck out of here. Look. We got the Candace Owens. This is my Candace Owens experiment right here. I have illegal immigrant fatigue. You just stepping over illegal immigrants to get to work every day. Illegal immigrants are just making your life hard as fuck. Somebody incel fatigue. Hey, you might be onto something with that incel fatigue shit. I ain't gonna lie. Somebody said, I apologize for my race. We ain't all crazy racist pieces of shit. I promise. We know this. We know that black people and white people get along extremely well. And we know we're not at war. We know we don't have to take our AR-15s to work so we can, you know what I'm saying? We don't have to take our AR-15s to work so we can, you know, fight off the white people. You know what I'm saying? We know this shit. Like, normal Americans know this shit. All right. It's only when you get online it turns into, you know, tell me why 8% of the population is committing 60% of the crime. It's like, bro, how is that even fucking possible? Anyway, that's a whole nother live stream. Man. We go chill out. We go chill out, man. And we got niggas. Defending the Ku Klux Klan on a panel with white boys. Not making the shit any better. But anyways, moving right along. Yeah, I'm a changed man. We don't, you know, I'm a changed man. We're not doing the Clip City is retired. Clip City is retired, man. I can't. Clip City is retired. Only thing gonna happen is I'm gonna tell the truth and niggas gonna take it personal and then it's YouTube beef. Welcome to YouTube beef. Look at the title. Yeah. You know how this shit go. I'm gonna tell the truth. You gonna take it personal and voila, a brand new YouTube beef. Yeah. Anyways, moving right along, man. I want to run this. I got to get back to this situation because now, you know, where is the uranium? Where is the uranium? Ooh. I got to do this. Y'all know me. I'm just keeping it a buck. I got to give Candace Owens her credit. All right. I got to give Candace Owens her credit. Y'all know I can't stand the can. Y'all know I can't stand the can. Y'all know I cannot stand the can. But here we are. Say, I hate to be the cynic here, guys, but Bibi Netanyahu has called for a regime change, and that means one way or another there will be one. Perhaps going to be favored color revolution route, or Iran violated the ceasefire route. but BB doesn't do peace. You can shout in the comments section, but be sure to bookmark this tweet at the same time. Now, I don't care if Israel and Iran get into it. The ceasefire deal or whatever is on them. All right. That's on them. Now we got we staying out of this shit. We saved y'all the last time. We all out of favors. All right. So hopefully we can leave it like that. You know. Gay Bay said low skill fatigue. Who else going to sweep up the hair after my tape? Y'all niggas wild. Yo, hey man, everybody relax. Shout out to Will. He said can't ban the can, man. But I hate reading niggas beef in the chat, man. Hit the like button, man. They caught me off guard with that shit, man. Wow. Oh, while I'm on some ADHD shit, man. Everybody hit the like button. I got to do this. I'm pretty sure this is your real name, but I'm gonna just say this, man. McRae, I appreciate the cash out from the last live stream, man. Thank you, fam. And shout out to AZ Tech. He just hit me with a cash out, man. Thank you, fam. Always looking out, man. AZ Tech, my nigga. Anyways, moving right along, man. Yeah, Gabe ain't shit, man. What the fuck? All right, so I agree with Candace Owens that this is not enough. This is not enough. I'm sure Israel is not gonna let up. I'm pretty sure they're gonna do something wild here in the near future. The movie is not over. The movie is not over, guys. It's not over. The movie is just now getting good. All right, the movie is just now getting good because they got uranium out there. They still have nuclear facilities that's not touched, ready to go. Now, here is Saeed Abbas Arghachi. This is the foreign minister for Iran. And he posted this an hour ago. He said, as Iran has repeatedly made clear, Israel launched war on us, not the other way around. As of now, there is no quote unquote agreement on any ceasefire or cessation of military operations. However, provided that the Israeli regime stops its illegal aggression against us no later than 4 a.m. Tehran time, we have no intentions to continue our response afterwards. The final decision on cessation of the military operations will be made later. And then I guess this tweet came soon after. It says the military operations of our powerful armed forces to punish Israel for its aggression continued until the very last minute at 4 a.m. Together with all Iranians, I thank our brave armed forces who remain ready to defend our dear country until their last drop of blood and who responded to any attack by the enemy until the very last minute. So I'm pretty sure that means that there is a ceasefire. There is a ceasefire between Iran and Israel and the United States. Now, I haven't seen anything from Israel. If somebody can find where Israel made a statement on the ceasefire, put it in the chat box. All right. Yeah, everybody hit the like button. Now, here's the thing about this ceasefire is because JD Vance popped up on Fox News and didn't answer a goddamn thing. Didn't answer shit. I just want to go through this interview real quick.
Thanks for coming.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Just seconds ago, the president went to Truth Social and typed this. It has been fully agreed by and between Israel and Iran that there will be a complete and total ceasefire. Complete and total ceasefire is what he typed.
Yep.
What does that mean? How did it come about? What's the development
Yeah.
here?
Well, we were actually working on that just as I left the White House to come over here. So that's good news that the president was able to get that across the finish line. I think what it means, Brett, is quite simple. First of all, the president, without, knock on wood, having a single American casualty, obliterated the Iranian nuclear program. We are now in a place where we weren't a week ago.
And that's a narrative. That's a narrative I do not think Israel. That's a narrative that I don't think Israel is going to accept. Hold on, give me 1 second. Y'all said that the sound is. I can't do nothing about the sound, man. You got to get with Fox News. You got to get with Fox News. That's all the sound I got. That's all the sound I got. Can y'all hear it? Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear it. This is the only full one I got. All right. Anyways. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Give me 1 second. Let me do this.
Go. Iran was very close to.
Hang tight. Everything good. Everything good. All right. Back to the show. Back to the show. Back to the show. Back to the show. Okay, everybody can hear it. All right, bet. Let's go.
Having a nuclear weapon. Now, Iran is incapable of building a nuclear weapon with the equipment they have because we destroyed it. So that's a very, very big thing. Now, what that means, I think, is we have to talk to Iran and, of course, to Israel about what the future holds. Because while we have obliterated the Iranian nuclear program, our hope and our expectation is that they're not going to try to rebuild that program.
Now, again, I'm with you on this, Django. It couldn't have been about nuclear weapons. It couldn't be about nuclear weapons because they have defense agreements with Russia and China. So why are they trying to stop Iran from having the ability to build a nuclear weapon when they could just get one from Russia or China? You know what I'm saying? Why that doesn't make any sense to me, where it's just like they're allied with nuclear powers. Like, why focus on the fact that they can't make one? Like, let's just say they did obliterate them and now they can't produce a nuclear weapon. What's stopping Russia from saying, don't worry, we'll send you 10 of them things, man. Like, we'll send you 10 of them things. This shit is so goofy. It makes absolutely no sense. It's like, we're going to stop Iran from building a nuclear weapon. And Russia has the ability to make nuclear weapons, and China has the ability to make nuclear weapons. In fact, they had Russian nuclear scientists at one of these facilities. You know? It's just silly. Anyways, moving right along. That's just one of those things where it's just like, it doesn't make any sense.
And I think that's what the president is really trying to figure out here, is to build a long-term settlement here to where we can have peace in the region, where our regional allies and, of course, the American people, most importantly, can be secured, but where we can ensure that the destruction of the Iranian nuclear program that has already happened is not something they try to rebuild.
I want to get to the obliterated part in just a minute, but I just want to read this fully so I get the context here. Congratulations to everyone. It has been fully agreed by and between Israel and Iran that there will be a complete and total ceasefire in approximately 6 hours from now, when Israel and Iran have wound down and completed their in-progress final missions for 12 hours, at which point, the ceasefire for 12 hours,
Sure.
at which point the war will be considered ended. Officially, Iran will start the ceasefire, and upon the 12th hour, Israel will start the ceasefire, and upon the 24th hour, an official end to the 12-day war will be saluted by the world. During each ceasefire, the other side will remain peaceful and respectful on the assumption that everything works as it should, which it will. I would like to congratulate both countries, Israel and Iran, on having the stamina, courage, and intelligence to end what should be called the 12-day war. This is a war that could have gone on for years and destroyed the entire Middle East, but it didn't.
Oh, let me say this. I do think it's going to go on for years. I don't think this is over. But I do think that we don't have as much involvement in this shit after this, which is a good thing. Which, again, I'm giving Trump credit for this. I'm giving Trump credit for this, because this is a brilliant way to save face. You know, you can back up out this shit, leave Israel and Iran to go heads up, because again, Israel is not going to be okay with the uranium being missing. They're not going to be okay with nothing. And so they are going to be they are going to be at each other for a while. So I mean, I don't think this is the end, but this is the end of us being involved at such a high degree. And which I think is a good thing. I think that's a good thing. And this is exactly what Israel gets for fucking jumping the gun while he was negotiating with Iran in the first place. I know Trump was fucking embarrassed when he had to come out and act like he was warning them and all of that. That shit was so fucking fake. That shit was so fucking fake, man. I could tell. I was like, bro, you was just talking about how y'all was negotiating. Pete Hegseth and Tulsi Gabbard said that y'all had no plans on attacking Iran. And Israel jumped the gun, and then they start asking for help the next day because they fucked up. And yeah, I don't think Israel gonna stop. Again, I haven't even seen Israel comment on this shit. And again, Israel has already proven not to be trusted with the sneak attack that they just did. Like, who the fuck would trust Israel anyways? But I don't know. I know this ain't over with. I know that, Israel is not buying the whole the missing uranium, and they're gonna use that as a reason to keep fucking with Iran, and this shit ain't over with. It's far from over.
And never will. God bless Israel. God bless Iran, the entire Middle East. But it didn't and never will. God bless Israel. God bless Iran. God bless Iran. God bless the Middle East. God bless the United States of America. And God bless the world. He seems confident that this is all coming together.
That's right.
And when you left the White House, were you thinking this was all gelling here?
When I left the White House, I thought that we might be able to get it across the finish line before this broadcast, and it looks like the president has been able to do that. I mean, look, he's been working the phones constantly. Frankly, before the 12-day war started, but certainly over the past 12 days, the president's been extremely clear about America's national objective here. It is to create a world where Iran cannot build a nuclear weapon. We, of course, destroyed the nuclear program that they had, and the president told the entire team, we're going to work to make sure that they don't try to rebuild that nuclear capability in the future. And look, this is a great thing. For Israel, think about this. They've accomplished an important military objective. They've helped us destroy the Iranian nuclear program. They've also destroyed the conventional missile capability of Iran that threatened the country of Israel. For the Iranians, I think this is a new opportunity to actually pursue the path of peace. As I said yesterday, what the Iranians have showed through their support of terror networks, through their now failed effort to build a nuclear weapon, is that they're just not very good at war. And I think the president really hit the reset button and said, look, let's actually produce long-term peace for the region. That's always been his goal. I actually think when we look back, we will say the 12-day war was an important reset moment for the entire region.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, everybody hit the like button. I don't think it's like this 12-day war situation is like, no, nobody buys this. You know? No, nobody buying this shit. But I do like this from the standpoint of if we say they not making no nuclear weapon, then they not making no nuclear weapon. And we standing on it and we not getting involved because we fucked up that shit ourselves. So don't come at us talking about weapons of mass destruction. Like, we got rid of their facilities. They're unable, they're incapable right now. And I think that's a good narrative to have to like stay out of this shit. Like, and let Israel play the weapons of mass destruction games on their own. You know, let Israel do the whole, we got to go find the uranium and where did they move it and all that. Let them do all that shit.
Would you be surprised if Iran is sending out signals that it doesn't have a specific ceasefire plan? How would the communication have been with the Iranians to get this level of confidence to put out that detailed statement?
Well, one of the things I've learned, Brett, about the Iranians in the past, 4 or 5 months that I've been in this job is what they say publicly and privately can sometimes be very different. I think what the Iranians have shown very clearly is they don't want this war to go on for much longer. Their air defenses have been totally destroyed. Their conventional missile program has been largely destroyed. And of course, their nuclear program has been obliterated, as I said before. So I think the Iranians are at a place where they don't want to keep on fighting. You saw the president, and I don't.
And again, I just read y'all where the foreign minister said they're willing to fight to the last drop of blood. Like, this whole thing was like the Iranians don't want to fight anymore. Like the Iranians, they when they come to Israel, they definitely said they don't. In fact, that's the reason why they had to go to Qatar to get the peace deal done, because Iran said, we're not fucking talking to y'all about no fucking ceasefire. Most said Iran launching missiles right now. That's another thing too. And you know what, listen, I don't care if Iran is shooting missiles. I don't care if Israel is shooting missiles. I care about us not being involved. That's what I care about. Like, us don't shoot a million rockets, shoot a million missiles. Tear y'all own shit up. All right. Tear y'all own shit up. We did what we did. We fucked up the facilities. They're not capable of leave us out of it. That's our consensus. That's what the conclusion we came up to. And so for us, that's what we own. All right. We don't give a fuck. Fuck y'all own shit up. We out. All right. That's what I care about. That's what I give a fuck about. Like, I don't give a damn. Hellfire missiles, supersonic missiles raining down on the sea. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. We put a ceasefire together. Y'all broke the ceasefire on y'all own. Y'all handle it. Hey, that's where I'm at with it. I don't give a fuck.
Have the truth in front of me, but he talked about the next 6 hours, right, finalizing the attacks. I mean, what I think what he's talking about is right now, for the American people watching, it's dark over there. That's typically when the Israelis and the Iranians have been shooting at each other. I think there's some recognition that might continue for another few hours, and tomorrow really is a new day. The end of the 12-day war, the end of the Iranian nuclear program, and I really do believe the beginning of something very big for peace in the Middle East.
So you said totally obliterated. The president has said totally obliterated the Iran nuclear program.
Yeah.
Do you know for sure where all the highly enriched uranium is?
Well, there we go. And they shouldn't even ask this question. That ain't none of our business. That ain't none of our business. Just what JD Vance said, look, that's their enriched uranium. That ain't none of our business. All right. What they do with it, where they put it at, that's none of our business. we don't care about their weapons. As long as they're not shooting them at us or aiming at us, we don't give a fuck. Yeah, Fox let that off. They got that off.
Well, Brett, I think that's actually
Obliterated the Iran nuclear program.
Yeah.
Do you know for sure where all the highly enriched uranium is?
Well, Brett, I think that's actually not the question before us. The question before
That's called not answering the question.
us is, can Iran enrich the uranium to a weapons grade level, and can they convert that fuel to a nuclear weapon? And we know, based on the success of our mission, of course, the leadership of the president, but the incredible skill of our military, that the two mission objectives are completely successful. We know that they cannot build a nuclear weapon. Now, you asked about the highly enriched uranium.
Yeah, like 900 pounds of it.
But what we know, Brett, is that uranium is something that exists in very large supply. Our goal was to bury the uranium, and I do think the uranium is buried.
See, this is what I'm saying. Buried. And whose possession? And whose possession? Just because it's buried, does that mean that it can't be used anymore? You see what I'm saying? Like, this little ball, this JD Vance motherfucker, man, I think it's buried. It's like, if I had to guess, they buried it. It's like, what the fuck? And Iraq came out and said there's no radiation in the air. Like, that's how everybody found out that these facilities was empty. And we bombed 3 empty ass facilities because Iraq spilled the beans. They said, "Hey, we tested it. The air is no radiation in the air." Iraq snitched on everybody. Yeah, Iraq was like, "Okay, well, how come there ain't no radiation in the air?" If y'all totally obliterated these nuclear sites, then it should be some type of radiation, pollution somewhere. Nope. That's gonna be a negative. Now we gotta lie and say it's buried. Now, if you know that it's buried, what do you think Israel gonna be on? They still have it. They still have enriched uranium. You know what I'm saying? This shit ain't over with. This shit ain't over with. I'm just saying, this shit ain't over with, man.
But our goal was to eliminate the enrichment and eliminate their ability to convert that enriched fuel into a nuclear weapon. I think this is an important point, Brett, because so many of the folks who have focused on the highly enriched uranium,
Sure, 60%.
the main focus, Brett, has been to destroy their enrichment capacity, because we don't want that 60% uranium to become 90% uranium. That's the real concern, and that's what was so successful about our mission.
So after all this,
And 60% enriched uranium is enough to make a weapons grade nuclear weapon, which is crazy that they just be like, it's 60%. But I went to go do some research and it was like, 60% enriched uranium is enough to create a nuclear weapon. I don't know why they keep saying that they only able to enrich to 60%. Like, but anyways, moving right along. Moving right along.
the Iranian government survives as is, what's to stop it from rebuilding over time if they in fact move the 60% highly enriched uranium? That's the concern.
No, the big concern, Brett, and this is again what we destroyed, is their ability to enrich uranium. If they have 60% enriched uranium, but they don't have the ability to enrich it to 90%, and further, they don't have the ability to convert that to a nuclear weapon, that is mission success. That is the obliteration of their nuclear program, which is why the president, I think, rightly is using that term. But here's the question. If Iran is desperate to build a nuclear weapon in the future, then they're going to have to deal with a very, very powerful American military again. Our hope is that the lesson that the Iranians have learned here.
See, why wouldn't they just take the uranium to Russia or China? Why wouldn't they just take the 60% enriched uranium to China or Russia to finish it off? Why wouldn't they do that? Why do you think? Because they don't have the tools, they don't have the manufacturing hardware to do it. Why do you think Russia don't have it, or China don't have it, or North Korea, like that, like nobody else has it. Because nobody else has it. So they just gonna sit on they just bury enriched uranium in the ground. And that's the end of it. I don't think Israel going for that shit.
Is look, we could fly a bunker buster bomb from Missouri to Iran completely undetected without landing once on the ground, and we can destroy whatever nuclear capacity you build up. I think that lesson is what's going to teach them not to rebuild their nuclear capacity.
Yesterday, were you speaking on the president's behalf when you said he was not interested in regime change?
Well, Brett, what I've said is the American military, that is not our mission as regime change. Our mission was to destroy the nuclear facilities and the nuclear program of Iran, which we, of course, did. I think what the president's also said is that the Iranian people want to make a decision about regime change. That's between the Iranian people and the regime. Of course, we support freedom fighters all around the world, but our mission was to destroy the nuclear facilities, and that's what.
How do you destroy the nuclear program and the nuclear scientists are still alive? Like, are they going into like they going to go twiddle their thumbs? Where the nuclear experts and scientists and you know what I'm saying, where are those? If all those people are still alive, like how are they going to be repurposed? Like, do you think that a nuclear program is just equipment? You know what I'm saying? Do you think? I don't know, man. This some wild shit, man. Said Trump ended this shit with that bomb, and niggas can keep playing dumb if they want. What did he end? Some buildings? Trump ended some buildings? See, this is what I'm saying, man. All right, never mind. Let me keep the live stream going, man. What the fuck? He said the scientists just gonna go back into get regular jobs. No, I mean probably they on LinkedIn. All the nuclear scientists from Iran on LinkedIn right now, looking for work, I guess.
So you don't think there's any mixed message when he goes to Truth Social and says it's not politically correct to use the term regime change, but if the current Iranian regime is unable to make Iran great again, why wouldn't there be a regime change? Miga.
Well, I think what the president is saying very clearly, Brett, is if the Iranian people want to do something about their own leadership, that's up to the Iranian people. What the American national security interest here is very simple. It's to destroy the nuclear program. That's what we've done. And now that the 12-day war appears to be effectively over, we have an opportunity, I think, to restart a real peace process. And Brett, this is not just about two countries, Iran and Israel. All of these Gulf Arab states, they want peace, they want to invest, they want to build artificial intelligence hardware, they want to sort of come into the new economy. And that was impossible when you had Iran that was, as the president said, acting like a bully across the Middle East. We really think that if the Iranians are smart about the path forward, this could be a new dawn of an economic age of prosperity, of course, for our Gulf Arab allies, for us, for the Israelis, for everybody. But it's going to require the Iranians play it smart from here.
The president called it very weak, the Iran missile firing on the U.S. base in Qatar, Al Udeid. Was it a face-saving move? How do you get from that?
Even Buddy just said it. Was it a face-saving move? I'll play that clip again of Trump admitting that they already like fake bombed U.S. bases just for the political theater of it. It's some wild shit, but that's crazy.
Bring missiles at a U.S. base to a ceasefire, as he details in this Truth Social.
Well, as the president said, they actually gave us some warning here. And we think they gave us some warning because they didn't want to kill Americans and they didn't want to escalate.
Yep. Oh, wow. I didn't even make it to this part of the interview, but he's saying the same thing. Like, so the Iranians gave America the heads up, like, hey, we got to let some rockets go over there that way so we don't look like some pussies. You know, yeah, it's staged. Like, that's what I'm saying. We gotta let the missiles go over there that way. You know what I'm saying? Just so we can maintain the morale of our country and all the rest. You know, I gotta run that back. Wow, I didn't hear this part of the interview, but damn, man.
there's definitely some symbolism.
The U.S. base in Qatar, Al Udeid.
Hit the like button. Fuck that shit, man. Let me see what's going on with my like button, man. Let me see what's going on, man. Y'all getting premium content over here, man. Anton Daniels ain't finna tell y'all this whole shit was staged. You know what I'm saying? The Hodge twins ain't finna tell y'all this shit was staged. Candace Owens ain't finna tell y'all this shit was staged, man. Hit the fucking like button. What's wrong with y'all? Yeah, if you're new to the channel, I'm seeing a lot of new people. Hit the subscribe button as well. Hey, Nick Fuentes might tell you this shit was staged. Says stage conditions of surrender. Iran folded like bet. No, Iran was an actor in the play. The suspect. Hit the like button, man. I got 180 some people. It's fucking 94 likes. Y'all be disrespectful, man. Hit the super chat. Hit the Cash App as well, man, as we proceed. All right. As we proceed.
Was it a face-saving move? How do you get from that?
For Gulf Arab allies, for us, for the Israelis, for everybody, but it's going to require the Iranians play it smart from here.
The president called it very weak, the Iran missile firing on the U.S. base in Qatar, Al Udeid. Was it a face-saving move? How do you get from that, firing missiles at a U.S. base, to a ceasefire, as he details in this Truth Social?
Well, as the president said, they actually gave us some warning here. And we think they gave us some warning because they didn't want to kill Americans and they didn't want to escalate. There's definitely some symbolism to this, Brett. If you look at the Iranian attack, it was 14 missiles that they telegraphed ahead of time. We dropped 14 bunker buster bombs. As the president told me earlier, our missiles, our bombs were a little bit bigger than their bombs. Our bombs actually accomplished the goal of eliminating their nuclear program. But look, we're happy, again, to restart the peace process as the president just did today.
Was the message delivered directly to the U.S. or through an emissary?
The message is always delivered through some sort of intermediary. That's been consistently true of the Iranians. Of course, we'd love to talk to them. The president's been clear about this. We'd love to have a direct conversation about how we move this thing forward because, again, we got to step back here. Why did the president do what he did over the past week? It's so that we could destroy their nuclear program. If they
I gotta run that part back.
try to rebuild it,
just for the historical
sort of intermediary. That
Was the message delivered directly
and they didn't want to escalate
base to a ceasefire, as he details in this Truth Social?
Well, as the president said, they actually gave us some warning here. And we think they gave us some warning because they didn't want to kill Americans and they didn't want to escalate. There's definitely some symbolism to this, Brett. If you
Man, wait a minute, man. Shout out to Black Savant said, all right, but what about Keisha in Chicago? Nigga? Yeah, if motherfuckers don't hit the like button, we doing Keisha content. We definitely we doing Keisha content, nigga. Y'all motherfuckers don't want to hit the super chat, the Cash App button, nigga. Y'all know what time it is, man. We going straight to Keisha content, nigga. I'm pretty sure Keisha doing plenty of fuckery we could be talking about right now. But this one of those times, man. This one of them times, man. This one of them times, man. This clip right here is for the books.
look at the Iranian attack, it was
Truth Social.
well, as the president said, they actually gave us some warning here. And we think they gave us some warning because they didn't want to kill Americans and they didn't want to escalate. There's definitely some symbolism to this, Brett. If you
I know Hulk finna go crazy, man. What Hulk at? What spiritual logic at, man? Hey, I know he finna go crazy, man. I already know people finna go. That right there, that's for the That's for the history books. That's for that. In fact, let me do this just so I can get them side by side. Just so I can get them side by side. Let me get this. Where it's at. Here we go.
Too far. Would have never.
Here we go. So this him explaining how they did the exact same shit in 2020. You know. Here we go.
Before you go too far, would have never happened with me. I had Iran in check. You know, we hit them very hard for something that they did, and they had to hit back. They feel they have to do that, and I understand that. Do you know they called me to tell me we're going to hit a certain location, but we're not going to hit it. It's going to be outside of the perimeter.
Who called you?
Iran called me. Iran called for me. And they let us know, and we had 16 missiles went off. I believe it was 16. 6 or 7 failed in the air.
When was this?
This was prior to the attack on a fort that we had where they hit back. Do you remember when they sent 18 missiles or 16 missiles? 5 failed. They let us know, don't move. We're going to have to hit you back. Psychologically, we have to do that because we hit them on something. You remember. They sent 16 or 18 missiles, and we knew they weren't going to hit inside the fort. And the media was going, and now I reveal it, the media was going wild because they say it's strange. They're very accurate missiles. How come they all missed? Nobody was killed, if you remember.
Yes,
with all
I
of those
do.
missiles, nobody was killed. Now, they had to do it because they have people and they have to show strength. So they aimed the missiles, but they said, please don't attack us. We're not going to hit you. That was respect. We had respect.
Damn, man. Now here we are.
Look at the Iranian attack. She gave us some warning here, and we think they.
From that, firing missiles at a U.S. base to a ceasefire, as he details in this Truth Social.
Well, as the president said, they actually gave us some warning here. And we think they gave us some warning because they didn't want to kill Americans and they didn't want to escalate. There's definitely some symbolism to this, Brett. If you look at the Iranian attack, it was 14 missiles that they telegraphed ahead of time. We dropped 14 bunker buster bombs. As the president told me earlier, our missiles, our bombs were a little bit bigger than their bombs. Our bombs actually accomplished the goal.
Damn, man, this one of them. Yeah, this one of those, you know. The crazy part is all this happened on mainstream media. And if you bring this up to like some sheep, you probably get called a conspiracy theory for this shit. And this both times where they admitted that this was like some psychological political theater happened on mainstream media, man. Crazy, man. This right here, this one of them times, man, where you really gotta, it make you look at, again, like I told y'all, propaganda. That shit real, man. The art of modern warfare, exactly. Yeah. Real talk. You know, they not even hiding no more. They telling y'all straight to your face, like, oh, just so y'all know, like, you know, they called us and told us that they was gonna miss, you know. But what did the headline say? Attack! Iran attacks U.S. base. You know what I'm saying? Just causing hysteria and shit, just freaking out the markets and shit, you know, like, I don't know, man. This shit right here, man, man, the sheep not gonna wake up, man. You know, they gonna be woke tomorrow, you know. All these fucking right-wing conservatives going to be talking about the leftist agenda, the leftist agenda. It's like, I'm so glad I'm not a sheep. I'm so glad I'm raising my son not to be a sheep. You know what I'm saying? Like, question every motherfucking thing. Question everybody, man. Like, this shit crazy, man. Yeah, they gave us a warning ahead of time. What?
of eliminating their nuclear program. But look, we're happy, again, to restart the peace process as the president just did today.
Was the message delivered directly to the U.S. or through an emissary?
The message is always delivered through some sort of intermediary. That's been consistently true of the Iranians. Of course, we'd love to talk to them. The president's been clear about this. We'd love to have a direct conversation about how we move this thing forward because, again, we got to step back here. Why did the president do what he did over the past week? It's so that we could destroy their nuclear program. If they try to rebuild it, they're going to be on the wrong end of American power once again. We don't want that. I think they don't want that, but the ball's in their hands.
You've been reluctant or at least cautious about getting engaged previously, and that has been public. What made you sign on to this action this time?
Well, I think the president has been very clear, and I've always agreed with the president that Iran can't have a nuclear weapon. And you try to run the diplomatic process as much as you possibly can. When the president decided that wasn't going to work, he took the action that he had to take. Now we're in a new phase. That action was successful. We had a wildly successful military operation to take out their nuclear program. Now let's go on to the next phase. And I think the president, look, sometimes he's willing to use peace. Sometimes he's willing to use the military. I think it really depends on what the Iranians do from here.
And what do you think they do from here?
Well, it's an open question, Brett. I don't want to predict what the other side will do, but I think that I know what will.
I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you what Israel going to do. Israel is going to look for those the buried enriched uranium. That's what Israel going to do. You know, that's what it's not what Iran is going to. It's going to be what Israel going to. Because I promise you, this is not enough for Israel. I don't know. Israel ain't having none of this shit. And that's why I asked, did Trump double cross Israel? Somebody said they'll never say the U.S. double crossed Iran. That's why they have a nuclear power. Yeah. The rhetoric is crazy.
Will do if they continue to pursue a nuclear weapon, and I hope they don't choose that path because I know the president wants to see the Middle East become peaceful and prosperous in the future. That's not going to happen if Iran pursues a nuclear weapon again.
And for the people, so we talked about the people who believe that this is going towards World War III, especially in your own party. There's a section that's very vocal. There's another section that says you should take out this regime because it's evil and horrible and has done horrible things for decades. How do you square those two sides? And can this regime stay in place and still have a peaceful, reaction relationship with the U.S.?
Well, I think the president has squared those two sides quite well. One, because he's the leader of the movement, and a lot of people trust the president as they should. They recognize they're not seeing the same intelligence. They're not seeing the same classified documents. They trust the president to do a good job. But importantly, Brett, I think he's threaded the needle quite well here. We had a very particular objective. It was profound and difficult to accomplish. The elimination of the Iranian nuclear program. And I think the president successfully did that. You're asking, were the Iranians close to nuclear weapon? Brett, they were very close to nuclear weapon.
Get the fuck out of here, man. What the fuck?
What I encourage my fellow Americans to think about here is that a week ago, the Iranians were quite close to achieving a nuclear weapon. Now, they cannot build a nuclear weapon.
Get the fuck out of here, man. Who is buying this? Who is, yeah, Razik, proof. How do you know? It's like, yeah, we knew that they were very close, but now they can't. But they still have all the enriched uranium that they did have, and they are partners with two other nuclear powers, but they don't have the equipment anymore. It's like, what? What the fuck?
That is the biggest testament to the president's leadership and to the success of our mission. In 1 week, without, thank God so far, not losing a single American cap.
Okay, let's go ahead and go on record. All right. Let's go on record. All right. Let's do this. Let's go on record, right? Now, how long do you think it's going to be before Israel says that Iran is capable of building a nuclear weapon again? I say I say 6 months. I say 6 months before they start beating the war drum of weapons of mass destruction. I give it 6 months. Django said a week. Razik said they're gonna say it tomorrow. I give it 6 months before they was like, we got to go in there again. They starting to, you know what I'm saying, like, because it's the uranium. They got the uranium enriched. I mean, if they built the equipment once, like, all the people who engineered that shit still alive. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know, but it's all, you know. I don't think Israel buying this shit.
Casualty. We have taken what was a threatening nuclear program that could have destabilized the entire world. Now that program is gone. We did it through effective presidential leadership and also some very, very competent work from our troops.
How often does it happen where you're going to do an interview and you get a Truth Social seconds before? You have some sense of it, but it's pretty detailed, where you are being asked about something the president has just put out.
In this administration, Brett, it happens quite a bit, actually, but we knew this was coming. The draft, it was interesting. I just read the draft about 2 minutes before we went on the air. It was a little bit different from what the president had showed me a couple of hours ago. But again, I knew that he was working the phones as I was on the way over here. So I knew exactly what we were going to do. And look, I love that about this presidency and this administration, is he's always working. He doesn't say, you know, the vice president's going to do an interview, so I'm going to stop doing anything. He says, you know, we're going to do the American people's business. The vice president knows what I'm trying to accomplish. And if I get it done, great, because we're going to talk about it and celebrate it, because it is a thing to celebrate. I can't emphasize this enough, Brett. We have destroyed the Iranian nuclear program. 0 Americans have died. That's an amazing, amazing thing. Americans, whether Democrats or Republicans, we should be celebrating that.
Mr. Vice President, we appreciate you coming and rolling with the punches as well. Thank you for the time.
Thanks, Brett. Good to see you.
So, yeah, there's that. There's that. Do I have anything else? I think that might be the end of the live stream, man. I think it's like a nice. Should I open the panel? Yay, nay. Check my Cash App real quick. See if we can get the extension fee going. See what's going on. Carmen said yes. Iota say nah. Nice short live stream. Hit the like button. Yep, hit the Discord. Link is in the chat. Pin to the top. Hit the Discord. You know what I'm saying? That's it for me. Nice, short, sweet live stream. All right, no panel. I'm chilling. I probably go on a walk. I might open up a voice chat in the Discord while I go for a walk so I can double up on my productivity. Shout out to Zone. There we go. That's a link to the Discord. Y'all join the Discord. I may hit the voice chat as I go on a walk, so that's probably what I'm finna do. With that being said, I'll see y'all boys later. I'm out. Peace.